Yeah, hello everyone. Today I want to introduce the teenagers spend the mornings before and after the pandemic. So we know in the rest of the years, the consumption upgrade and the new consumption concept have increasingly moved from the macro policies to the daily life, and that have become tangible, especially with the rapid rise of a younger generation of consumers. Their consumption concept, the performance, and the measures are increasingly affecting the directions and the trend and the try to consumption upgrade. So, what are the unique consumers concepts from the younger generation? Uh, who are going to the main forces of society? What are the distinctive tend to the consumer behavior? What are your demands from the future? The teenagers are in the school stage and have limited learning power. The main source of income is daily allowance provided by their parents. However, it's quite common to use money to wash your feet without wrapping your feet. In China, or where the materials enjoyment is in change, is full of the all kind of temperations. The parents ignore it for their children's moral education and use the money and the materials compensations plus overwhelm the brand names advertisements which make the young people blindly pressures the terms, the style, and the prestige to satisfy their vanity. Demonstrating superb states is making young men people feel more the pleasures and the satisfactions of the executive consumption. Over time, it has created many natural systems that hinder the healthy growth of the young people. So firstly, I want to talk about the teenager spend money before the pandemic. The consumption value of a teenager are meant to the pressure of fashions and highlights the self and individually because they do not want to have do not have a corrective value. They are often from the trend where knows the brain's meaning to choose the identity and the influence. Students usually have a very good economic development and status of at house and satisfy the natural condition. Parents don't care about their children spend lots of money and want to let the children buy well-known brands. Therefore make some students have the natural condition and the state of the mind that are keep on the well-known brand to apply. They feel that the brand names products are not only normals in style and higher in quality, but also commons and the durables then believed in the consumption concept of the good products. Good products are not effective, and the good products are not cost effective. Usually they spend lots of money. They spend a lot of money on the pair and the brand name, the sports shoes, and some the famous dress. They often read well-known brands and magazines and something else that make them dominate by the well-known brands in their usually consumption. And even the non-famous brands do not buy them, but then can call the famous brand students. So that's why the teenager would like to choose that. The famous brand students of the consumers psychological makes themselves more visible amongst the students based on such famous brands consumption, which affects the enemies, which which affects the other well more judges eyes of the students, and then got the considerations of the style of the minds from this. in the middle of the students, they are also want to become fashionable characters who continue to accept new considerations and new information content, trying to merely show that they have a lot of opportunity to make the directions about them or personal before behavior and even cause, partially because well-known brain can be used as same of true identity and influence. Some students who admire vanity also like to chase a fashion trend and become unique. Consumers naturally salary starts with the exciting of the wearing nose springs and have the most detailed information content of the well-known brands is to prompt to the well-known brands and follow the well-known brands advertisements. It will never be out, even I'll be out of date, even if the family is not very rich. We are trying to save the money and accumulate pocket money to buy it. They feel that wearing well-known brands can show them own work abilities, attract care, and the famous friends and of the optics. Some people become attracted to buying the brands in order to become able to wear well-known brand, right? High-end sports cars or showing them exactly information that can save the money without eating breakfast and lunch regularly on the economic development standards of the family. Famous brands. In the end, it was very likely that complex will be darkly yellow, lead to be land of nutrition, which makes seriously harm the development trait of the mind and body delight of schoolwork. Adolescence is the natural occurring stage where the appearance is highly valued and the pressures of a person's vanities. Students usually emphasize themselves to become famous people who want to have a better life. And also that will then sometimes also to them, but the main cause is from them food. They would like to eat some food. Everyone would like to eat some we eat some famous snacks, whatever. When they after schools, they will just to go. Just when they come back home, they will maybe they would like to go with their friends to go to some restaurant to take delicious foods. And in the weekend, then usually to call someone else to go out with them to attend some to go to some activities to maybe them mostly want to keep in touch with others and make them friendship more higher. But actually them just like want to buy something else. And that will blind from so that also will be blind from the public to buy the unnatural things. Whatever when they see some a beautiful dress, then maybe just to pay for that, and maybe next days, wow, he think, wow, it's so dangerous, it's so